Welcome to Ielts Dragon, where you can learn sample answers and tips for the recent Ielts speaking topics from a Band 9 achiever. Here are the recent Ielts speaking topics for the months September to December 2020. First off is recycle. Here are the questions. Do you practice recycling? Why or why not? What kind of things do you recycle? Did you learn recycling when you were a child? And will you keep recycling in the future? So, when talking about recycling, think about the three R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So, ask yourself, what are those things that can be recycled? Also, some words that can be used when talking about recycling or recycle, we have biodegradable, non biodegradable. So, think about the difference between the two. Also include the words litter bin, landfill, greenhouse gas or gases. So the technique here is use any of these words for you to get some ideas on how you can answer this topic spontaneously. Next is making a list or a listing. Questions are: do you make a shopping list when you go shopping? Do you make a to-do list at work? Why don't some people like making lists? And do you prefer to make a list on paper or on your phone? So, how do we talk about listing or making a list? First, think about the essentials, basic needs, priorities. What are those things? Then, talk about the importance or the benefits of making a list, like having a list helps you not to overspend, it saves you time and energy. It creates order, you become organized, it manages tasks effectively, it relieves stress, and not missing any appointment. This shouldn't be difficult as this is a relatable topic. Another new topic is picnic. Did you go on a picnic when you were a child? How often do you go on a picnic now? Where do you go on a picnic? What is the difference between the food for picnic and the food eaten at home? Think about the things that you need when you go on a picnic and the activities that are commonly done. Besides, think about the places that are best for a picnic, not to mention the food. When you get this topic, remember the times when you had your family picnic or the time when you had it with friends. How did you feel? Include that in your answers so you'll have more ideas to share. We have this interesting topic: birds. Questions: do you like birds? What kind of birds do you like? How do people in your country feel about birds? And how do you feel about people shooting or hunting birds? Now, you should know some kinds of birds in the first place so you'll be able to talk about birds easily. Then gather some adjectives that you can use when describing about birds. Not to mention, prepare the verbs that you can use when constructing sentences about birds. When you have enough adjectives or verbs for the topic birds, it'll be easy for you to develop your answers. Now, take a look at those vocabulary words I have shared with you. Next is text messaging. Questions include: do you like text messaging? Do you prefer sending or receiving messages? Have you ever received a confusing text message? In what circumstances is making a phone call better than sending a text message? This is one of the easiest topics since we do this in our everyday lives. This is really relatable. Well, some ideas you can use when talking about text messaging. Talk about the convenience of SMS and the terms that you can associate with texting. Also, prepare ideas like the pros and cons for texting and calling someone. This shouldn't be difficult. Next is sports. This is one of the most popular topics in IELTS. So let's prepare some good topic vocabulary words and ideas. But first, here are the questions. What sports did you play when you were a child? What's your favorite sport and why? Do you watch sports live or on TV? And are you a fan of any sports teams? Why or why not? Don't be a mediocre when talking about sports. Level up your vocabulary. Instead of saying popular or famous sport, you can say mainstream. Understand the difference between amateur and professional. And make sure to know some examples of sports that are called individual sports or team sports. You can never go wrong talking about sports because it's part of our everyday life. Another new topic is clothes. What's your favorite color of clothes? What kind of clothes do you usually wear? What kind of clothes do you dislike wearing? And do you wear the same style of clothes on weekdays and weekends? Because this topic is so broad, let's make sure we understand the common categories of clothes. It's just hard to talk about clothes if you don't have some good ideas about the kinds of clothes and the type of fabric. So, as early as now, understand the fabric and the types of clothing so you'll be able to answer these questions fluently. Now we have stars or movie star. Questions. Do you want to be a star? Who is your favorite movie star? Have you ever met a movie star or celebrity in person? And are international stars famous in your country? This shouldn't be difficult as we know some actors or actresses. It's easy to talk about them, especially if we talk about our favorites. So build your vocabulary, learn descriptive words and other terms that you can relate to this topic. I have prepared some, so familiarize these words. Next, we have furniture. Do you have a lot of pieces of furniture in your home? Has anyone bought a piece of furniture for you? What kind of furniture would you like to buy? And which furniture at home do you like the best? I know that you have good knowledge about the common pieces of furniture, but why not use a strategy that can help you boost your mark in the criterion lexical resource? I mean, research some unique furniture types like cheval mirror, nest of tables, grandfather clock, and partner's desk. I bet some of you haven't heard of those words yet. Actually, I already created a video lesson for this topic. Just watch that video lesson so you'll get ideas on how I answer these questions, targeting a Band 9. Next topic is newspaper and magazine. Questions. Do you prefer to read newspapers or magazines? Do you prefer to read news online or in the newspaper? What do you think of newspapers? And what are the differences between newspapers and magazines? Understanding the different sections of a newspaper can surely help you express your answers better. Spend time knowing the different sections. Also, know some terms about newspapers and the verbs you can use when constructing your sentences. And finally, have some knowledge about the different types of magazine. When you have enough vocabulary, you'll surely do well in expressing your answers. Next topic is discussion. What do you usually like to talk about? Have your discussion topics changed since you were a child? Do you change your opinion frequently? Do you prefer talking or listening? So first, think about the common discussion topics that most people enjoy or are interested in discussing. Then ask yourself, what are your opinions? What about other people's opinions? Are your opinions different from other people's opinions? Are the opinions honest, strong, conflicting, or dissenting? In addition, prepare some adjectives and verbs that you can use when answering questions about discussion. Using any of these terms you see on the screen can help you sound natural, which is very important in improving your score. Next, talking about change. Questions. Have you changed a lot since your childhood? What do you plan to change next year? Do you like changes? Why or why not? And are there any changes in your hometown? So, have you ever heard of the common sayings, change is constant, change is the only permanent thing in this world? If yes, then get ideas from those sayings when answering questions about change. Or you can even use those sayings in your answers for you to sound natural and creative. Now, when we talk about change, think about the things that change in a person and in society. Those help you formulate better answers. And don't forget to use some good descriptive words to describe change. Another topic is meeting new people. Questions. Do you like meeting new people? How do you feel when people welcome you? Do you often meet new people? And can you tell if you like someone when you meet them for the first time? Why or why not? To answer questions about meeting new people, ask yourself about the benefits of meeting new people. What are they? And use those ideas when constructing your answers. In addition, in what places do you think we can meet new people? Know those places. They're good ideas to include in your answers. And make sure to use good topic vocabulary words and collocations. Here's a great topic, jokes and comedies. Questions. Are you good at telling jokes? Do your friends like to tell jokes? Do you like to watch comedies? Have you ever watched a live comedy show? So here, we can always associate this topic with a common saying, laughter is the best medicine. With that saying alone, we can already get many ideas on how to talk about this topic. That saying opens a lot of ideas already, like improving one's mental health or emotional health, relieving one's stress, reducing the feeling of depression, and many more. If you like comedies, you can add Charlie Chaplin or slapstick comedy in your answers. You'll appear knowledgeable then. Just make sure to use some good expressions when answering questions about jokes and comedies. We have staying up late. Questions. Do you often stay up late? What do you do when you stay up late? How do you feel when you have stayed up late the night before? What are the bad effects of staying up late? So gather ideas about things that make people stay up late as you can use them to express your thoughts better. Then think about the bad effects of sleeping late. What are they? You can use those ideas in your answers that will aid you in speaking at length. And for sure, you have to know some very good expressions of staying up late and apply them in your answers naturally. Next, prepare for this topic, concentration. Questions. Is it hard for you to stay focused on something? What do you usually do to help you concentrate? When do you need to stay focused? And what distracts you when you're trying to stay focused? Think about the occasions when you need to focus or concentrate, and talk about the reason why you must spend time concentrating. The ideas that you can get from those occasions when you need to focus can make you formulate specific and better answers. Just couple your answers with collocations or expressions to make it sound natural. Now let's prepare for this topic, gift. Questions. What's the best present or gift you have ever received? Did you give expensive gifts? What do you give others as gifts? What kinds of gifts are popular in your country? Now you have to understand the different types of gifts that people give or we give to others. Are they tangible, intangible, experience or experiential gifts? Learn how to describe the act of giving gifts using these very good descriptive words that you can see on your screen. Actually, I made a video lesson for this, so please watch it and analyze how I answered these questions targeting Band 9. Next, we have shopping. Questions. Do you like shopping? Do you compare prices when you shop? Why or why not? Is it difficult for you to make choices in a shop? Do you think expensive products are always better than cheaper ones? This is one of the easiest topics in IELTS speaking because we all do this. All you need to do is prepare some good expressions and use them in your answers so you won't sound ordinary, especially if you're aiming for a higher band. Use any of the expressions that you can see on your screen right now. They can surely help you get a good mark in the criterion lexical resource. Next is tidiness or being tidy. Questions. Are you a tidy person? How do you keep things tidy? Do you think people should be tidy all the time? And are you tidier at work or at home? So, what do you know about tidiness? For sure, what comes to your mind first is being neat or organized. And you're right. Now that you know the basic definition of tidiness, think about some examples of being tidy and the benefits of practicing tidiness and talk about them. That's the best way to answer these questions spontaneously. Actually, I already created a video lesson for this topic, giving a Band 9 worthy answers, so you better check that video. Next topic is age. Questions. Are you happy to be the age you are now? What do you think is the best age to learn driving? How do you feel about getting older? And should we treat people of different ages equally? Know some adjectives you can use when talking about age. Those help you think of many ideas which you can use when answering questions about age. So, when you associate age with the different stages of a person's life, you'll be able to think about the many differences of people in terms of their way of thinking, lifestyle, goal, health condition, among others. When you think that way, you'll never run out of ideas about this topic. Well, I made a video lesson about this topic with so many sample answers, so find time watching that video. Also, prepare this topic, handwriting. Questions. Do you often write by hand? Is your handwriting easy to read? Do you think handwriting will be replaced by computers? And does the handwriting of a person tell something about his personality? You should know the vocabulary of handwriting, especially the types of handwriting. Also, bear in mind the occasions when people need to write things by hand, not to mention the descriptive words that you can use when describing about handwriting. When you are prepared, you'll never be afraid answering any of those questions. If you want an easy way, check the video lesson I made about handwriting. Everything you want to know is there. Next is public transport. Questions. Do people in your country usually use public transportation? What kind of public transport do people in your country use the most? And why? Do people in your country drive to work? And do you think people will drive more in the future? As this is one of the easiest topics in IELTS speaking, all you have to do is prepare some good expressions that you can use when answering these questions. Know how to describe public transport by using the right adjectives. You will surely ace answering these questions if you have enough good vocabulary. If you don't want to stress yourself thinking of ideas on how to answer these questions, check my video lesson for this topic. It'll surely help you achieve your target band score. Also, please review the topics from January to August 2020. If you find value to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next lesson, have a lovely day.